Epstein Island wasn't the first of its kind, and it won't be the last either. Back in the 1970s, a man named Francis Sheldon purchased North Fox Island, a remote island in Lake Michigan. It was accessible by boat, and crucially, it had its own airstrip, which matters because it means people could be moved in and out discreetly. No public contact, no witnesses, complete isolation. Between 1975 and 1976, an organization called Brother Paul's Children's Mission was operating on the island. On paper, it was a youth-serving charity, helping boys with things like reading issues, mental health, and physical fitness. In reality, it was one of the most disturbing child exploitation rings of its time, hiding behind the image of a calming wilderness retreat for boys. Children were brought to the island and forced to engage in sexual acts. These assaults were filmed, photographed, and distributed for profit. Men with money were able to access the island, including men from outside the US who traveled there specifically to abuse the children. According to reports, Sheldon himself used a small private plane to transport the boys to the island, tightly controlling who came and who went. Parents were manipulated into believing that they were sending their children to a therapeutic camp, and in most cases paid for it. The operation was finally exposed when one boy returned home and told his mother what had happened. She went to the police, and the entire structure began to unravel. But before Sheldon could face consequences, he fled the country and was never brought to justice. Investigators later identified at least 20 boys who had been victims of crimes committed on North Fox Island, and a man directly connected to the operation, Gerald Richards, was arrested in 1976 for sexual offenses involving a minor, and he named Sheldon as the man behind the operation and admitted that Brother Paul's Children's Mission only existed to bring boys to the island to be abused, filmed, and photographed. When police executed search warrants for Richards' home, they found thousands of photos, letters, and a mailing list of subscribers. Additional evidence showed that Richards had taken children from his own school on trips to the island, and additional material was found linking him to other child exploitation rings. Two other men, Dyer Grossman and Adam Starchild, were named in reports but weren't convicted due to insufficient evidence. Richards cooperated with authorities, was convicted, and served prison time, though denied other allegations against him. North Fox Island shows us that this has been happening far longer than people realize, and Epstein shows us what happens when that same setup goes global. And the most unsettling part isn't the intelligence or the elaborate planning, it's how easily this happens when somebody has the money, the opportunity, and no real oversight.